I'm gonna go get warmed up.
On the road and hungry for a win against an Eastern Conference rival, the Miami Heat are ready for this thing to get started. We welcome you this Thursday evening as we get set for some exciting NBA action on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines. The big story, the return of James Johnson from being injured.
Yeah, and the fans have been waiting for this moment really all game. I'll bet they're going to let him know how happy they are to have him back on the court. He's really worked hard to return to the lineup as quickly as possible, and I know he's been waiting for this day.
So the opening lineup for the Heat, Richardson and Johnson are the forwards. Johnson and Waiters are the guard set, and it's Whiteside in at the center. And kind of rare, a battle of the pivot men tonight, Clark. What are some of the traditional things a center you think can still do to help his team win in this era of basketball?
Well, I think there are a number of things. One, you think about taking up space at both ends, being a rim protector defensively, and also quarterbacking the defense from behind the perimeter defender is one way. And then on the offensive end, banging that glass, setting solid screens, again, using size to take up space and put pressure on the defense.
There'll always be room for the big man in this game, though, don't you think?
Oh, I don't think there's any question about it. His role changes, and what all he does changes, but some of the basics never go out of style.
Philadelphia with the ball after Dion Waiters miss. Fultz the pass to A-Train. And Embiid throws it down.
When he's close to the rim, the attitude that Embiid brings is, I'm dunking this thing.
Not a fast start here for the Heat. It's a 5-point game. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
Just a terrific effort off the bench. Guys came in, they seemed fresh, and they all contributed.
Yeah, you need that juice, that gas coming off the pine. Always a luxury to have a deep bench. And when they can step in and play well, you're in good shape.
Johnson. Simmons with the defensive effort.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Yeah, I like the fact, Greg, that he crowded the shooter there, made him uncomfortable, got into his airspace a bit. Looked like he forced the shot.
And it's the 76ers with the ball, following the missed shot by James Johnson. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Philadelphia shooting their first free throws of the game. The first free throw is good. With the amount of characters and personalities on this Sixers team, Clark, you can't help but notice the attitude they play with.
Yeah, they play with edge. They play with brashness. Some would say arrogance, but all of the championship teams have some element of that, and that's where they're looking to go. On occasion, if their emotions get out of whack, it could get them in trouble, but I think they'll learn as they grow to tone that down and use it in a positive way. Still scoreless after 4 attempts, trying to take the lid off the basket.
Here's Embiid. Simmons trying to get open. And there's Embiid. That's good on the assist by Simmons.
Fruitful possession, just doing what they can to extend the lead.
Yeah, that's tremendous efficiency there. I mean, you like seeing them put together these types of plays.
And here they go. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. Last time they met was in Miami.
And their defense practically non-existent in that one. Just gave up far too many easy shots.
Yeah, I think they were totally checked out, Greg. At least that's what it looked like. When you play that kind of defense, you expect to lose.
Now here's Waiters. 9 points last game out. Right side finds Johnson. Good ball movement here by Miami. To the paint. Looking to end the run. And Embiid with the block.
And Embiid is a determined defender. I mean, swatting away shots. He's got excellent reach and timing. Makes him a good shot blocker.
Fultz with the ball. He's guarded by Johnson. Passes to Covington. Now the feed to Simmons. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Simmons got his second bucket.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Very high percentage so far. And if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it.
Johnson kicks to Waiters. Trying to get open is Johnson. Waiters no luck. The 76ers leading by 10. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Eric Spoelstra gave me a few minutes to catch up. I asked him about the challenge of playing against a team that's so smart and under control on offense, and he said they really do a terrific job of execution. No miscues or missteps. We need to be just as disciplined if we're going to get the upper hand. And since they're down 1-0 in the season series, they'll have to do that really well tonight.
Great job, David. So they know how dangerous this team can be if they get on a roll.
And that means contesting every single shot. It's going to take a lot of effort on D, but they can't give up those easy baskets.
Without question, you're right on top of it, Greg, because if you do allow this team to get rolling and get into a groove, you can forget about slowing them down.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
The Heat trail by 10. Ball's knocked loose. And here's Miami. Here's Richardson. What a tremendous game he played against Dallas. Right side, no good.
And that's solid defense, rock solid, contesting without fouling. Well done.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding you.
Agreed. I mean, when the defense is right there, you got to move the ball, make the extra pass. That's a case of a poor shot selection.
Now here's Johnson. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Dallas.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
The Heat trail by 10. Now here's Richardson from downtown. That one's rebounded by Embiid. And there's so much speculation early in Embiid's career if he would even pan out. It's become clear, Clark, that he was worth the wait.
Well, it was all injury related in terms of the questions because he sat out his first 2 years in the league with some type of injury. Those injury concerns, really the only reason that people question him. The talent, the size, and you love his personality as well. But this guy has tremendous skills, and he's going to be an all-star for years to come if he's healthy.
Yep, that one goes. Richardson's got it back down to single digits for the Heat.
Man, you like this intelligence he plays with. You got to respect that. Gets to his spots and scores efficiently.
Here's A-Train. He's guarded by Waiters. Shot from 12. Embiid. It's good on the putback. Here's Johnson. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. Now a timeout called by Miami. Fans can see what a team is doing on the court, but they can't see behind the scenes. Mark, in your experience, what are some of the hallmarks of a team with great locker room chemistry?
Yeah, it varies from team to team. You got various persons.
We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. On the floor for Miami, we've got Tyler Johnson. James Johnson is out there with Adebayo. Then it's Winslow, and it's Magruder in at the shooting guard position. Johnson outside. Quick shot there, and it's off target.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Here's A-Train, and count it from 19 feet away.
A dependable passer. Chandler doesn't just look to score. I mean, he's also good at finding his open teammate.
The Heat trail by 3. Waiters dishes to Johnson. Back to Waiters. Unable to get that one. And the 76ers go the other way with it. They've led by as much as 10. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
And always tough on the road, but that attack mindset that they brought offensively, I really felt like that set them apart.
And what stood out to me, Greg, was the aggressiveness. I mean, it seemed like they just were eager to get it done, wanted it a tad more than the other team.
Here's Fultz. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Man, I love the energy Fultz plays with, Kevin. I mean, when he's deep in the paint, he's really comfortable going up to shoot it.
Back to Waiters. The good-looking shot from the wing. Waiters got his second bucket of the night. The 76ers leading by 3. Here's A-Train. He's coming off a 37-point game against New York.
And it was an unselfish night for him as well. He got plenty of assists to go along with all those points.
Shot clock at 6. And Simmons kicks to Muscala. Hits the three-point foul. Muscala's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. The Heat trail by 6. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Waiters pass it to Adebayo. Winslow against Chandler. Just 5 on the clock. Winslow kicks to Johnson. No good from outside.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding.
Agreed. I mean, when the defense is right there, you've got to move the ball, make the extra pass. That's a case of a poor shot selection.
Yeah, that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Now here's Waiters. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. Johnson surveying the floor. The Heat need to get a shot off. From deep. Rebound by Muscala. Muscala's got 4 rebounds now tonight. The pass to A-Train. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And a chance here now to take a look at the teams that are tops in the league in scoring points off turnovers. The 76ers, number 1.
2 shots, gentlemen. You know, it's not just the turnovers they're forcing. I mean, they're converting at the other end. And you know what? It puts a lot of pressure on you to play perfect.
And the first one at the line is good. Robert Covington's checked in for Wilson Chandler. And Miami also making a switch. Josh Richardson's checked in for Winslow.
This shot's just, it's not there right now. With this team leading, perhaps, you know, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
And Simmons has got the ball here for the Philadelphia 76ers. 10-point lead. This is their biggest. And the shot goes in from Fultz.
Just a tremendous feel for the game. Simmons is so gifted at reading the floor.
Timeout called the Heat. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Johnson's checked in. Johnson against Richardson. Feeds to Johnson. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Johnson's got his first points in this one.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, A-Train in the last game against the Knicks was superb. He had 37 points and also grabbed 4 rebounds. rebounds in addition to his scoring. His play was a big part of why their team was able to maintain its hot streak. We'll see if he delivers a similar performance tonight, Kevin. To you.
David, appreciate the report. He was a one-man show in that game.
And, you know, it'll be interesting to see how much that took out of him. I mean, he'll have a hard time putting up anything even close to those numbers here tonight.
Well, Greg, you know where I'm going. He was a stat sheet stuffer in that game. Did a little bit of everything and did it all well.
Fultz the pass to A-Train. There's the call on James Johnson. That's his first foul. You know, there's always this debate, Clark. Could the best teams 20 years ago beat the best teams of today?
I think there would be some compelling matchups, and I think you would find winners on both sides from different eras. I really do. It's hard to compare just because of the difference in eras and periods, but really good championship teams typically could handle most teams in the current era. I believe that in all sports. So compelling matchups, and I do think some teams from a couple of decades ago could handle some of the teams that we see winning championships now.
If you let him get that deep, this is what you can expect.
He's not only strong as ammonia down there, he's smart as Einstein too. Poor effort from the defense.
Pass to A-Train from the arc. It's hauled in by the Heat. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. It started a 3-game homestand with that game.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Kicks it to Simmons. Covington against Richardson. Fultz dishes to Johnson. Tipped away and stolen by Richardson. Johnson outside. Basket counts. And now just a 5-point Philadelphia lead. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Heat?
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And it doesn't look like they'll be giving up on any plays tonight either. Their offensive rebounding has also been equally as impressive.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Embiid's checked in. Heat also with the sub. Whiteside's checked in. Waiters finds Whiteside. Good ball movement here by Miami. And it's Johnson with the jam.
A nice run they put together here to bring it a little closer.
Yeah, they got hot. And I didn't think I'd be saying this a little while ago, but now this game's up for grabs.
Chalk up 2 there. A-Train's got 9. 1:39 left here in the second. Johnson outside. Pass to Richardson. 5 on the clock. Here's Whiteside. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
And they haven't worked it inside as much as they did earlier in the game. Now that they have the lead, they don't seem as determined to pound it down low.
And some changes here for the 76ers. Saric comes in for Johnson. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Markelle Fultz. Rodney McGruder's checked in for Miami. Ellington comes in for Tyler Johnson.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
The Heat trail by 4. Ellington kicks to Richardson. Pass to Whiteside. And here is Ellington. On the wing, Johnson. He's covered by McConnell. The shot by Johnson, no good. The 76ers leading by 4. To the paint. Here's Embiid. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Boy, if you can't appreciate how skilled Embiid is, you got a problem, and he's impossible for the defense to slow down.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Covington against Richardson. Knocks it loose. Covington with the steal. Jumps up. Hammers it home to polish off the break.
Well, one of the things about Covington is that his length bothers the opposing players. I mean, he's somebody that takes defense seriously and looks to pilfer the ball whenever he can.
Here's Whiteside, and that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so, okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime, so we'll be back in. And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. A-Train has been sensational.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him. A scoring machine here in that first half.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch, partner, because not only is he shooting a high percentage, a good percentage, he's also carrying the team.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. So on the floor for Philadelphia, the young stars, Simmons and Embiid at the 4 and 5. Markelle Fultz out there with A-Train. And it's Covington in at the 3 spot. And they pick up 2. 15 points for A-Train.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
And it goes out of bounds. That one off Covington. And a chance now to see how teams are faring across the league. Here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. Taking a look at Oklahoma City. They couldn't hold their position this week, but remain in the top 10.
And seeing where the 76ers are, they just crushed expectations all season long. Only a few people thought they could sustain this level of excellence, but here they are.
And, you know, Embiid is a decorated defender, a guy who consistently brings energy on this end of the floor.
Here's A-Train. Looks good, is good. That's his 7th basket in 12 tries.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just
As dominant.
Yeah, I concur. I mean, definitely on the roll right now. Seems like everything he's throwing up is going down.
And there's the call on A-Train. That's his 3rd foul of the game. And so here is Miami. They trail by 9 points. Waiters into the lane. It's blocked. And it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here. Lock at 6.
And, you know, 1 for 4, not a good start. I mean, they got to play with a little more energy this half.
Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. And here is Simmons. 6 points for him. The pass to A-Train. Covington against Richardson. No good from Simmons. The Heat trail by 7. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Hassan Whiteside continues to develop. Now, Miami coach Eric Spoelstra said it's got nothing to do with his stats. He's going to do that no matter what. It's about making winning plays and caring more about his teammates than he cares about himself. Now he can lead in a different way because he has the respect of the locker room. Kevin?
Terrific, DA. Thank you. And Miami making a change here. Winslow's checked in.
Remember back in 2016, James Johnson signed a make-good contract with the Heat. He's transformed his body, going from about 274 to under 240. And in the following season, they rewarded him with a 4-year, $60 million deal.
Richardson the pass to Winslow. Rebounded by Covington.
You can see he just rushed that a little bit. Lost the focus, I think.
Trying to get open is Johnson. And the basket is in from A-Train. A-Train's got 19 points. And for James Johnson, losing all that weight seems to have unlocked his versatile, high-energy game, Greg.
Yeah, and this lower weight, Kevin, this guy's a wall of muscle. You combine that with the greater mobility, and now he possesses an athletic advantage most every night he takes the floor.
Here's A-Train, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Miami called for the foul. So far in the game, he's gone 2 for 4 from the free throw line.
And, you know, guys, he had a big game at the free throw line in their last outing.
As a matter of fact, a lot of his points came from the stripe. He was feeling it.
Clark, you were drafted 8th overall by the Indiana Pacers. Do you have any indication that you were going to be their pick in particular, that you were going to go in that slot? Was there any kind of inkling at all?
No, I only visited with teams drafting 4 through 7. Talked to the Chicago Bulls, Dallas Mavericks, and I read some of the reports about where I was projected. But you know what? Once you get past the first or second, sometimes the top 3 picks in a draft, you really don't know who's going where after that. So I was fortunate. I landed in a good spot.
Right.
And Indianapolis was a good place for me and Rosie to be as I started my NBA career.
It sure was. Here's Waiters. And again, it's the Heat missing.
He must hit that shot. The defense, non-factor. Very surprising he missed it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
Hey, they've got a nice, comfortable lead here, fellas. Might as well keep it simple. Do it a plain, simple one-hander, just like pound cake.
I would agree.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
Inside. Kicks it out to Johnson. Winslow with it. He has 5. Richardson finds Whiteside. Over Embiid. Whiteside, no good.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
A-Train, the pass to Fultz. Philadelphia moving the ball around to the middle. Here's Simmons. Makes it off the glass. Simmons got 8 points.
And I like watching Simmons go to work down low. I mean, with his length and strength, there aren't many guys that can keep up with him down there.
Pass to Richardson. He kicks it to Whiteside. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on chin.
You know, guys, you got to give much respect to the length of Whiteside. I mean, he's a hulking 7-footer who takes a lot of pride in being the defensive anchor for this team.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Mike Muscala is checked in for Joel Embiid. Johnson comes in for Ben Simmons. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Fultz. And then for Miami, Bam Adebayo is checked in for Josh Richardson. Rodney McGruder comes in for Dion Waiters. And Ellington is subbed in for Tyler Johnson. And good that time. A-Train's got the lead up to 13 now for the 76ers. The Heat shooting around 40% from the floor here. Here's Magruder. Oh, tried to dunk it home, but drew the foul, and he'll go to the line. And while we've got a moment, let's check out the best defenses in the NBA. The 76ers, number 1.
Points allowed is one of the key indicators for good defensive effort. And this team does a nice job because they force opponents into tough shots. They don't allow easy shots. They're all on the same page. They're aggressive. They're focused. They pay attention to detail. And for 48 minutes, they're going to make their opponents uncomfortable.
Sharge checked in for the 76ers. And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here.
And really, whether you're up or down, it's a game of adjustment.
Always. And having a good coach is critically important. I mean, you need somebody you can count on to make the right adjustment.
The 76ers leading by 11. Now, here's McConnell. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. There's the double team from Whiteside. Johnson at the elbow. McConnell scanning the floor. Second shot opportunity, and Whiteside sends it back.
And Whiteside takes great pride in rejecting shots. Outstanding at getting his arms up and denying shooters.
Ellington kicks to Adebayo. Pass to Magruder. Now Whiteside. Over Johnson. Shot is good, and the 76ers lead is cut down now to just 9 in the bucket from Hassan Whiteside.
And look at how quick he was to bite on the pump fake. Left his feet way too soon.
And Philadelphia calls time here.
And what a story for Hassan Whiteside.
A second-round pick back in 2011. He's bounced around. I mean, the G League, China. He even played over in Lebanon. It wasn't until 2015 that he emerged seemingly out of nowhere as a factor for the Miami Heat.
McConnell passes to A-Train. Puts one up from 19. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
Magruder kicks to Whiteside. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Johnson. Here's A-Train. 25 points in the game. To the inside. It's tipped. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way.
A moment here to see some numbers for A-Train. Just an incredible month of basketball. Averaging 33 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he brings that offensive firepower to the team. Scoring just comes naturally.
And, you know, defenses are throwing everything at him, yet he's still able to put up points. He's really unstoppable.
Goes up, throws down the breakaway jam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
That's good from A-Train. The Heat trail by 12. Here's Magruder. He's got 5. It's tipped. Passes it to Ellington. On the wing, Winslow. Chandler with the block. And it's Justice Winslow with the foul. That's his first foul. Johnson, he's checked in for Miami. A fader. That's good from Chandler on the assist by Johnson. Chandler's got his first basket.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Fader on the way. No good off the back of the rim. Philadelphia leading by 14. Here's A-Train, and he has 28 points for the game. It's hauled in by the Heat. Adebayo's got his 5th rebound in this one. Short, that's good. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the 76ers.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And also, I've been extremely impressed with their interior D. Their rim protection has been as good as it gets.
Magruder passes to Adebayo. And that one, good. Adebayo's got 11.
Well, he's been excellent thus far, Kevin, but it still hasn't been enough to get them the lead.
Left side, Sharch. Chandler, the pass to A-Train. Goes up with a stripe. That one falls. A-Train's got 17 points here in the second half.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And there's the pass to Winslow. Down low. The shot by Johnson, no good.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
And, you know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
He dishes it to Ellington. 32 seconds left here in the third quarter. Out to the right wing. Magruder kicks to Adebayo. Shot clock at 5. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket?
Miami shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one. And the 76ers call time here. And it's McConnell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Philadelphia 76ers. At one point, they led by 16. Here's A-Train. 30 points in the game. And stolen by Ellington. No good there. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers looking at a 13-point lead heading into the next quarter. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting they've been dialed in so far from the field. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game. And it's presented as always by State Farm.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Boy, that's a nice asset to have. It's a huge boost to any offense too, Greg. It adds a whole nother dimension when you've got a big guy that can pass.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. On the floor for Miami, Richardson and Johnson are the forwards. Wayne Ellington is out there with Tyler Johnson, and it's Adebayo in at the 5 down low. Clock is at 3. Here's A-Train, and that one off the back of the rim and in. A-Train's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the 76ers. Johnson finds Richardson. Now here's Ellington, guarded by Fultz. Johnson takes the elbow jumper and drains it. Philadelphia leading by 13. High post Embiid. Here's A-Train, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
You know, for a big guy, Joel Embiid's floor awareness is pretty impressive. He does a pretty good job of finding open guys.
Now here's Johnson. He's guarded closely. Kicks to Richardson. Pass to Adebayo. 6 to shoot. Here's Johnson. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. One item that stood out, their ball movement.
Things are definitely clicking, and more importantly, it makes it really hard to defend.
Shar's doing a nice job slashing to the basket with real ease there at 6'10". He moves quite well.
The Heat trail by 17. Johnson down low. Johnson in the corner. Pass to Richardson. And there's the call on Dario Saric. That'll be his second foul of the game. Ben Simmons, he's checked in for the 76ers. Heat also with the sub. Waiters is checked in. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Here's Adebayo. Blanketed by the D. Fights to the rim for the layup. Philadelphia leading by 15. Now Fultz. Passes it to A-Train. Offline with his three.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just one in the first.
Richardson against Covington. Richardson, good.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
And Simmons kicks to Embiid. Here's A-Train. He's guarded by Waiters. And here's Embiid. Just 5 to shoot. Here's A-Train. It's Adebayo with the rebound. Adebayo's got 6 rebounds in the game. Richardson gets a wide open look. No good on the three.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Fultz kicks to Simmons. And the basket is good. And the 76ers lead by 15.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
Covington against Richardson. Knocked away. Waiters outside. Fires the three. Knocks down the three ball.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. Those three-point bombs will erase the deficit quickly if they can keep it up.
Ben Simmons gets the bucket.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
The Heat trail by 14. Johnson, the pass to Adebayo. Waiters outside. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Simmons got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home. Unselfishness always admirable in a basketball player, and Covington consistent at giving it up when one of his teammates is open.
Johnson outside. Waiters surveying the D. And the pass to Adebayo. And there's the call on Joel Embiid. That's his first foul. Whiteside's checked in for Bam Adebayo. Whiteside against Embiid. It's Richardson on the wing. Shot clock at 6. Pins the shot with nobody near him. Timeout called the 76ers. And Josh Richardson at the University of Tennessee was a pre-med student. Plans on becoming a surgeon. But when the NBA became a possibility, he said he had to switch to an easier major.
And instead of spending 4 hours a day studying, he put that time into the gym. The terrific defender in college, was the 2-time All-SEC defensive player. And with the newfound focus on basketball, he has blossomed as a scorer.
Volts kicks to Covington. Embiid inside. He's covered by Whiteside. Embiid, no good. The Heat trail by 14. Richardson finds Johnson. And stolen by Simmons. Covington trying to break free. Ben Simmons gets the bucket.
And for a 6'10 player like Simmons to be handling the ball like that, come on, that's criminal.
Shot from 12. Tries again. Waiters outside. And the shot falls short this time.
Boy, he's having a tough time right now. Seems like he's forcing his shot a bit to me, Kevin, not letting it come in the flow of the game.
To the middle and stolen by Whiteside. Down low. Here's Johnson. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and he'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
That's exactly when you need to be aggressive, Greg. You know that. I mean, another good job, though, of drawing contact and getting to the free throw line.
Here's A-Train. Up again, and Embiid is right there.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
The Heat trail by 16. Waiters outside. He kicks to Richardson. Johnson outside. Simmons against Johnson. Over Simmons, and the basket by Johnson.
And he should thank the team for those 2 points. Nobody paid much attention to him on that play.
Simmons feeling it out a bit. Here's A-Train. And the 3 off target.
Well, in most games he can knock it down from deep, but it just isn't there for him in this one.
Back to Johnson. He's looking for Richardson and finds him.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg.
Well, I like the way he capped off that drive. The one-hand pull punch.
Oh, fellas, that was vicious 2-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one.
Well, guys, I'm glad they didn't try because I don't want anybody to get hurt out there.
Here's Waiters, and it's good off the back rim and in. Waiters got 5 points in the quarter.
And he is starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
Inside, A-Train. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. 38 points for A-Train.
Well, this is what he likes to do. Try to break your spirit.
Yeah, I think he's trying to put this one away, quite honestly. I mean, it feels like he can lay it up against any type of defense, and he can.
And the Heat call time here.
You know, when you watch Ben Simmons, he has marvelous talent and all-around ability, but sometimes you can easily focus on what he can't do. He's not a great shooter, so teams do back off of him, but still, this guy's an impact player because he sees the floor, he passes it great, he's a terrific rebounder, and he's got a nice motor.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, A-Train.
And his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
This is as good a game as we've seen him play. And this crowd can't get enough of it. When he explodes like this, it becomes a special atmosphere in here. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during that break, Eric Spoelstra had some words for his team. He said, "Do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back." Guys,
Clock at 4. From deep three-point range, they get it again. Here's Whiteside. He gets that one.
And the presence of Whiteside in the paint, really unreal. He is a dominant figure down low. Great work to grab that second chance opportunity.
And for Simmons, missing his rookie year due to the injury, but he showed he was worth the wait.
No doubt. And you just don't see players with his skills and his body type come around that often, Kevin. I mean, he started quickly out of the gates and took over the Rookie of the Year award race almost immediately.
And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. The Heat trail by 11. 1:29 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Waiters, he hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Simmons with it. To the inside, and stolen by Richardson. And now here's Johnson, a fast break chance. Rebound by the 76ers. 17 points was their biggest margin. On the top of the key, and the shot goes in from Fultz. And the 76ers lead by 11.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for the 76ers.
The differential in assists led to a lot of open looks and also helped to get more guys involved in the offense easy.
And they made the defense adjust, but they just couldn't come up with an answer.
And on the year now, tonight's impending victory will push their win total to 47.
And they've taken control of the season series. This brings them to 2-0 with one game left against this squad.
And believe you me, they'll be gunning for the sweep in that third meeting.
And looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for A-Train.
Well, I love the force that he showed on defense, using all of his length to deny shots. He was their anchor tonight.
And here's Johnson outside. Good on the triple.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far.
Out of bounds, Miami takes possession.
Bad turnover.
So the 76ers win it. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.